Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh and I make videos about how to make your money go the furthest. So if you're interested in those types of videos and you'd like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel by smashing that subscribe button below. So with all the volatility in the market right now, some of us may want to sway away from investing heavily into our favorite stocks and instead decide to stash that money away into a safer method such as a savings account. Even though banks are also reducing the APY in a lot of their savings accounts, there are still some solid picks out there right now. And of course, even if the volatility in the stock market isn't scaring you away from investing heavily into your stocks, and you're enjoying all the heavily discounted picks out there right now to invest into, having some money set aside in the form of some type of an emergency fund is still a wise move to make. And having that money in a savings account that earns a high yield of interest is another way of making that money work for you. Many banks at the moment pay almost next to nothing for having your money sitting in a savings account. So you could have loads of money sitting in a savings account, and over a year you may only be earning $1 or $2 off of that money. So what I did was compile a list of my 5 favorite savings accounts out there right now. And with this list, I did have a certain criteria. So the criteria that I am looking for: first off, the banks must be FDIC insured up to $250,000. They must also earn a high yield of interest, have no ridiculous maintenance fees, and also have a good customer service when needed. Also, I must mention I haven't banked at all of these, so it's really difficult for me to say completely. I'm just simply going off of reviews I've seen, APY on their websites, looking at their terms of service and fees of numerous different banks, in addition to the call center hours and availability. And finally, I am going to try to rank these banks from 1 to 5, though I could really just pick them out of a hat. It's really hard to compare them and say what's best out of these from 1 to 5, but I'm going to do the best that I can, and really I can vouch and say that all 5 of these are pretty good and you really couldn't go wrong with either of them. And of course, always, as I will mention, even though I'm mentioning them, you should still do your own due diligence. Go on the website, make sure to see what their current fees are, as that can definitely change as months progress. I am making this video in April of 2020, so if you're watching this, for example, in December of 2020, it's very possible their fees may have gone up or their terms of service may have possibly changed a little bit as well. So always look into their terms of service before signing up. Don't just take my word for it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into my list. So number 5 on my list will be CIT Bank, and they currently have an APY of 1.75%. Now, to open an account with CIT Bank, you must have at least $100, which isn't really all that much. However, in order to keep that 1.75 annual percentage yield, you must have a minimum account balance of either $25,000 or you must at least deposit $100 in your account each month. So that is a little bit of a tricky rule. If you don't have the $25,000 minimum to keep in that account, it is possible that your APY could drop from 1.75 down to their base rate. However, like I did mention, if you can at least deposit $100 every single month into your savings account, that's another way to keep the 1.75 annual percentage yield. So with that said, it's still a solid bank, just because $100 per month to deposit into the savings account really isn't that much, and you should be able to accomplish that if you do have any type of income right now. Finally, CIT Bank has no maintenance fees, so that's a big plus for me. And they do have customer service hours from Monday through Saturday. They don't have any availability on Sunday though. So if you do work Monday through Friday, the only day of the week you could probably really call would be either when you got off of work, after work, or perhaps on Saturday, as they are closed on Sunday. And finally, there is a maximum of 6 transactions each month with CIT Bank. Any amount of transactions above 6, you will be charged a $10 fee. But really, I can't say that's too bad of a thing, just because all of these banks that I'm going to mention in this video, as well as any other bank that I mention as well, you'll also have that $10 fee, just because there's a federal regulation D that says that you can only make up to 6 transactions per month in your savings account. All right, coming in at number 4 will be American Express National Bank. They currently have a 1.7% APY. With American Express National Bank, you have no minimum balance, no monthly fees, and they also have a contact center open 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, so you really can't beat that. And the only real fee that you'll see with American Express National Bank is if you do exceed the 6 transfer limit per month. So all in all, I would say American Express National Savings Bank would be a good choice to make. All right, moving right along to number 3, we have Goldman Sachs. They currently have an APY of 1.7%. With Goldman Sachs, there is $0 minimum to open an account. Of course, if you don't add any money in your account, within the first 60 days, your account may be closed. So if you don't open your account with any money, make sure to deposit some money in there within the first 60 days. And of course, like the other banks that I mentioned so far, there are no fees unless, of course, you exceed the 6 transfer limit. And Goldman Sachs also has a 24-hour per day, 7-day per week contact center. So that's pretty sweet if you do need to get in contact with anyone with any questions you have about your account. And it's just an added bonus to this bank. So I'd definitely give 2 thumbs up to Goldman Sachs. Definitely a good choice to make. All right, and now we're down to number 2. This one may be a little bit less popular and probably a bank that you haven't yet heard of, and that would be Live Oak Bank, which they currently have a 1.75% APY. With Live Oak Bank, it's $0 to open an account and there are no monthly fees. The only thing that you have to do to keep this account open is keep the account balance over $10. If there's no activity in your account for 24 consecutive months and your balance falls below $10, then they will issue a dormant account fee for however much is left in the account and go ahead and close your account at that point. So if you have $9.99 left in your account and there's no activity in the 24 consecutive months, then they'll issue a fee of $9.99 and close the account. If you have a balance of $5 in your account and no activity for 24 consecutive months, they'll issue a fee of $5 and close your accounts. So pretty much however much balance that you have in your account at the time of not having any activity for 24 consecutive months, they'll issue you that fee for and go ahead and close your account at that point in time. The only real bad thing I can say about Live Oak Bank is that they do have a little bit of restricted customer service hours. They are just Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 8 p.m. So no weekends if you do work during the week. So it might be a little bit more difficult to get a hold of them. So all in all, I would say that Live Oak Bank would be a good savings account to have just because it has a 1.75% annual percentage yield, no fees, and all in all, their customer service hours aren't too bad, even though it is just Monday through Friday, and you would earn a high yield off of your savings. And last but not least, number 1 on this list will come down to Vio Bank. Vio Bank currently offers an APY of 1.75% and just $100 minimum to open an account. With Vio Bank, there are no monthly fees, and you can also reach a customer service agent 7 days per week. The only real bad thing I can say about Vio Bank is if you are the old school type of person who still enjoys receiving paper copies in the mail and you don't like seeing the online copies, even though you can just print them out with your own printer. Anyways, you would be charged a $5 fee just for Vio Bank, printing it out, putting it in an envelope, and shipping it off to you. But let's face it, we can just look at our statements online, and if we want our own paper copy, we can always just print it out ourselves. So we don't really have to worry about that $5 fee all in all. And honestly, even though I did rank these from 1 to 5, you could really mix these up any direction that you wanted to, and you could make a valid case why one bank is better than the other. The only real reason I put Vio Bank at number 1 is because I can personally vouch for them, as I have banked with them in the past, and I can say that everything that I have dealt with them so far has been really, really good. So that about wraps up this video. Like I said before, all these banks are really solid banks, and you can make a case for either of them being best on the list. There really isn't too big of a difference in any of them as far as annual percentage yield goes, as the worst one was 1.7% and the best one was 1.75%. So not a huge difference there. So not really worth switching from one of these banks to another based on one of the reviews that I gave in this video. But all in all, I would say that if you currently have a large amount of money stashed away in a bank that's earning almost no return, it would definitely be advantageous for you to move that money over to one of the banks that I mentioned in this video, or you could even do your own research and find another bank that also has a high annual percentage yield, and you'll definitely earn a lot more back in return and make your money work for you. So that about wraps up this video. I hope you did enjoy the content in this one. If you did, please consider liking this video, subscribing to my YouTube channel, and leave a comment in the comment section below, letting me know what you think of these banks if you personally have experience with any of them. And until next time, I'll see you guys. I hope you have a great day today.